So it might be the fact, it might be the logical thing, but is it the truth? And how do we know what is true? The word of God, right? And I think I also mentioned where I used to make a joke when I had children, myself and my cousins and siblings. I would say that, oh, our parents never told us we didn't come with manuals. But as I became a parent and I began to grow in my parenting journey, I actually said to myself one day, come to think of it, we actually have manuals. The Bible, the word of God, the truth of God is the manual for raising children. So hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bukola Jolugbo, fondly referred to as Kiki, and I'm the founder of Joshua Zami, where we raise wholesome and extraordinary young men. If this is your first time here, I say welcome and thank you for stopping by. Now, at the beginning of this month, with the month of April, we started off on a series about the mindset, developing the right mindset for parenting. And so I did an introduction the first week where I kind of started with the expectations of the righteous. So how your expectations are very key to the outcome you get as parents. So I'm reminding you to be watchful of what you expect, because what you focus on is usually the outcome. So change your expectations, try and work on what you're focusing on so that your outcome will be the right thing, right? And then I went on to read from the book of Philippians 4 verse 8, where it was talking about the things we should meditate on. Because a lot of the times, our meditations, the things we brood on, the things we think about, are the things that actually form our outcome, you know. So, so when we read a few things that talked about on the things that are noble, on the things that are praiseworthy, on the things that are true, the things that are just, pure, lovely, that are of good reports, or that are virtuous. Those are the things we should think about. And so last week I also talked about, you know, things that are noble and true. And I think I buttressed the fact that facts are not always truth, are not always the truth. So if something might be the fact, 1 + 1 is the fact, but in marriage, it is not the truth, right? So it might be the fact, it might be the logical thing, but is it the truth? And how do we know what is true? The word of God, right? And I think I also mentioned where I used to make a joke when I had children, myself and my cousins and siblings. I would say that, oh, our parents never told us we didn't come with manuals. But as I became a parent and I began to grow in my parenting journey, I actually said to myself one day, come to think of it, we actually have manuals. The Bible, the word of God, the truth of God is the manual for raising children. So we all do have manuals if we're able to read the manual, right? There's a joke about Nigerians or us blacks not reading manuals, but if we're able to read the manual, I think it would be a lot easier to operate or work with the product, our children, that God is giving to us. So now, today I want to talk about praiseworthy. What are the things that are praiseworthy? We've talked about truth, true and noble. Now, praiseworthy. How do you identify? How do you even see or find those things that are praiseworthy in your children? Because in fairness, a lot of the times things will go the way we do not want it, the way we're thinking. You're wondering what is happening out there. What is all of this, you know? So, and I'm thinking, how do we identify things that are praiseworthy, particularly when things are not going on well? And I'm just going to share a quick story. Sometimes ago, I think it was sometime last year, I went to US with my friends on a retreat, and for a retreat, and we got there on a Thursday. I was meant to come back on a Friday, leave US on a Friday to get here on a Saturday, and we got there on a Thursday. My son was poorly. but I think it was already getting better before I left. I'd booked this trip like God knows how long ago, and as I was getting ready for the trip, I was going to cancel because I wanted to stay with him. But he said, no, Mama, I'll feel guilty if you cancel. I don't want you to cancel on my account. I've been looking forward to this. So I went on the trip. And guess what? I got there on Thursday. On Sunday night in the US, I think, which was like midday or something here on Sunday, or I don't even know. But on Sunday nights in the US, I spoke with my husband and we kind of felt it's not looking good. I think it's deteriorating. What could be happening? On Monday morning, about 5 a.m. in US, my husband called me and said, I'm taking him, I'm getting the ambulance. So they got the ambulance and they had to dash him into the hospital. And before you know it, I was talking to my husband at some point and he just couldn't talk because the boy wasn't responding and all of that. And I just told my friend that we're together sharing a room and I said, jump on the laptop and book a flight for me. I need to go back home now. And she said, oh, I said, go on the laptop. And I just pulled out a card from my bag and I said, book my flight now. You know, and she booked the flight and I came back to the UK. I got to the UK I got on the flight like 11 a.m. flight that morning. Got to the UK about 6 p.m. Got to the boy about 7 p.m. And while I was with the boy, as God said, he got up, I fed him, we spoke, it was very little, but you know, the boy responded to, oh, mom is here. And only for about 2 or 3 days later, we're talking and the boy said, Mom, you had to spend all that money to come back. And I said, yes, but I'm thankful that money was there to spend. And he looked at me. I said, but you had saved up that money for something else. I said, yes. I'm thankful that we had saved up that money for something. What if we didn't have the money? What if we didn't save it? And I'm also thankful for the fact that I got here and you responded to me. In the midst of it, I was like, what can I be grateful to God for? It was a lot of money, in fact, but there's something to be grateful to God for. There is always something praiseworthy. There is always something that, you know, we should be thankful for, irrespective of how dark the cloud may seem. There is always that silver lining. There is always that thing to be thankful for. What are you thankful for in your son? I did a video, I shared it on my Facebook reels of my son. And while the same boy doing his laundry, taking out in his laundry, the sun came out thankfully yesterday for a day, and he did his washes, put the laundry out, and he was taking in his laundry, and I was videoing him from the top of my room. And I was just saying, God is in the story. God is definitely in the story, fighting the wars, winning the battles for us. So this is me encouraging you, parents, irrespective of how bad it seems, mama, irrespective of how bad it seems, God is in the story. God is fighting the battle. God is up to something. How do you identify the things that are praiseworthy in or on the journey of parenting? So how do you identify the things that are praiseworthy? I remember when my children were toddlers, my mom said to me, leave them, let them scatter the house, right? Let them play. Because there will be a time that it will just be yourself and your husband. And then you'll be wondering, okay, why is everything so tidy and everything? And today, that's where I am. They're both out and it's just hubby and I. And it's just so quiet. I'm thankful for those days. I'm thankful for this quiet moment. What can I be thankful for, even with this boy that is doing all of this? Have you ever thought about the fact that the boy is not in the hospital? Because if you were, you won't be able to do what you're doing today. You won't even be able to complain. What should I be grateful for? My son might not be doing so well in school, but at least he can go to school. Lord, I'm thankful for the fact that he gets up in the morning without aid. and he goes to school. Oh, I have to aid him. I have somebody who calls me mama. I have somebody who calls me papa, even though I have to aid him. Oh, I have to talk and talk and talk for him to listen. At least you can talk. I was watching a video on social media the other day of this woman who couldn't talk and her husband was taking, at least you can talk. Hey, mama, papa, there's so many things to be grateful for in the journey of parenting. Another way you can learn to be grateful is journaling. Write down those things. Specifically, what am I grateful for today in the life of my child, in the life of my son? And as you do that, your mindset begins to change from that complaining that morning, that it is not to, it is this, it is working. God is in the story. I'm going to leave that with you today, and I hope it helps. And next week, I'll be back on this same topic of parenting with the right mindset.